Okay, this is an extreme lifestyle asset presentation. We call them ELMAs, extreme lifestyle assets. These are the assets, the DOSE assets. That stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Essentially, sex objects that drive the bus, drive this project forward because of what they do to prospects and participants' brain chemistry when they see them on video, when they step aboard them, when they enjoy them, when they mastermind on them, when they invite their prospects and their team to them to experience them. The dopamine and the endorphins go haywire, and people simply sign up. People want these and are ready to pay for them. And suddenly it's not about the representative. It's not about specialized knowledge. It's not about how good they look or how attractive they are or whether or not they have the right tie on or clip their nose hairs. It's all about these assets, these ELMAs. And the first one here is a pair of older, aging, exotic, erotic, not so tired, ready to rock and roll, ready to deliver for the project. On the left is the 104-foot wood motor yacht Queen of Sheba, lots of history. And on the right is a 40-foot Prevost, essentially rock band bus. Probably something like 30 years old, but cared for. Diesel power plant, GM diesel. Just an incredible rig. The next slide is the Tuggy, and this is a 45-foot wood hull, keel-cooled, working Puget Sound tugboat that's known all over the Sound, is a pittance to acquire, working tug, and brings everybody from old salts to the ladies to people who want to party on it, and will also do double duty as a working vessel for tending to our larger vessels and smaller vessels and get things out of harm's way and just do all kinds of work. It crosses all of the boundaries. That's Tuggy. The next one is another Prevost, but a slightly different class because it's only about 10 years old and it cost $1 million to build, and it has everything. This is a stainless steel 45-foot with the skylights and the marble and the wood, hardwoods and engineered floors and you name it. I mean, it's a palace inside. You can see all the pictures in a different video or a different presentation PDF. But the idea behind showing you the older bus, an earlier slide that's also a Prevost, is that these assets are going to clone themselves. In essence, make a copy of themselves, possibly even not the same kind of asset. So a bus can clone a trawler, and a trawler can clone another bus, and a bus can clone an island, and an island can bring in a working ferry for us to use. And that's why we put more than one bus and more than one tugboat, if you will, into the mix here so that you can see that one begets the next, and there's a gradient, there's a step up in value as we go along. And that's what the warp drive is about. That's what viral marketing at a physical asset level is about. This thing changes just when you weren't looking. Suddenly there's a new asset and another and another, and your business grows while you weren't even doing anything because someone else was, and we added those assets and they became more powerful than the framework was a week ago or even a couple of days ago. It's that rapid. The next one here is the MV Breeze. That's a 96-foot ocean-going Army tug, all converted for charter. Sleeps a whole bunch. It's luxury all throughout. It brings the people out. You'll see a common thread in here of history and elegance and romance and different. This is not some bayliner boat that there's 100,000 of. This is unique, and it brings people to the conversation. That's what we're trying to do, and it also provides amazing accommodations, rest and relaxation for our participants, for our, we call them our knights. The next one is one of the Queen's boats. This was originally a vessel that the Queen of England spent time on, as well as Sir Winston Churchill, Jackie Onassis, the Sultan of Oman, Onassis in the Greek islands, the Prime Minister of Greece. Amazing history, something like 80 years of history, to die for accommodations, luxury throughout, just an incredible vessel for the project. And the next one is the Old Astoria Ferry. This is a 110-foot, 70-foot air height, 38-foot beam, diesel ferry, all converted for partying and special events. This will be used for training and for having fun and for entertainment and for masterminding and a whole bunch of other things. It's a scary asset, one of the core assets, and will go another 100 years. I think it's 91 years old now, and it's in better shape than it was in the 1920s when it was doing ferry service across the mouth of the Columbia River before they put the bridge in. This is another one of the Queen's boats, the Queen of Seattle. It's a 4-deck sternwheeler with a real 1884 steam engine aboard, and it was built in 1984, and it has a real functioning steam calliope on the top deck and a whole bunch of other cool things. And then we move into the larger assets, such as the Sahara Oceanographer, which is an old National Oceanic Atmospheric vessel that did many circumnavigations of the planet, has 2 million nautical miles on the ship's log. It's 303 feet or 92 meters long, stands 135 feet off the water, and has 4 locomotive diesel engines in it, along with a pair of Westinghouse electric motors that allow it to do about 20 knots. This thing will run from weather. It's ice class. It's broken ice in both poles, and it will be the flagship of the fleet. Once it's all spruced up, it still needs some work, but it's pennies on the dollar. It will take its place in the top 25 largest privately held yachts in the world. And not to be outdone, this is an old Cousteau Society Expedition class vessel, also ice class, an old Canadian Coast Guard survey vessel that did 30 years of service on the St. Lawrence Seaway. And it's 169 feet, and it's dripping with luxury. If you look closely, there's an 8-ton bow crane on the front and a helicopter on the back. And this one is lying down in Southern California, ready to take our participants and prospects to the Galapagos Islands on a research mission and help with ocean concerns. At the top of this are ocean defenders and ocean warriors and ocean researchers, and this will go back to work for the oceans in a very different fashion than it's done in the past, but also lending a hand to the Cousteau boys and to, who knows, Scripps and Sea Shepherd and others. And then we get into some money. This is money. This is a big ranch in Wyoming on the Snake River, really close to the national park, Grand Tetons National Park, and the airport, and with something like 17,000 square feet of buildings, including its own observatory, ready for us to walk off with many of the wealthiest players in the world who want to see some progress towards a more healthy, balanced approach to how we care for the world's wildlife and the world's biosphere, as well as no kill on the pets, and maybe we can keep less than 25,000 kids per night dying around the world from nothing to eat and nothing to drink that's safe, and no parent in sight, and child armies and all the other stuff so many of these kids are facing in the poorest and the hardest parts of the world. And then the last one in here, and I'll wrap it up, is a castle on an island in the Bahamas with, again, almost all of these have a lot of history, a lot of romance, a lot of excitement. They'll bring the celebrities, they'll bring the people with money, there'll be special events, venues, as well as R&R, and to invite the doubting Thomas in your family or in your organization, and to teach not just marketing, but all of the fun stuff that people have wanted to learn all their lives and have never gotten around to. We're going to make that happen as well.